can heavier traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
I just got to figure out how, if I can switch it to Shopify, if that makes sense, or
Right.
like doesn't have implications that could become a problem. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
I'll be
Wix
all
is
right.
not the worst either. Like, you can still do ads and stuff. I'm not as familiar with it, but
Yeah.
I just know Shopify is super easy. Like,
Yeah.
the pixel
Okay.
installation, everything's pretty quick. All right, we can start.
Oh, no. I like this. It's business talk. Is this working?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Can you
hear
hear
me?
me in the headphones, or do you hear me in the room?
No, I hear both.
Is this how you're supposed to
I
talk
hear
into a
you
microphone?
nice.
Oh, good.
Do I sound good?
I think so.
Both of you sound fantastic. Do I sound any clearer,
I think you sound great. You also look so relaxed.
buddy? I'm all.
You're gonna have to
cash.
crack that door open. I'll get it.
Yeah, you look like you're having a good day, Mike.
You know, I just got back from Mexico, so I'm still kind of on
Did you actually?
who cares time. Yeah, last night, 2 nights ago.
Oh, nice.
We did. We went to. Well, I'll tell you if we want to talk about that.
Mike was telling us he just got back from Mexico.
Whoa, Mexico City?
Yeah, that place is
Nice.
amazing.
That's where we want to go.
Yeah, we're thinking about
Oh.
going in September.
Yes, you should. And it's God, my legs are huge. You ever just look at yourself in a mirror, or you catch yourself on camera? You're like, ugh, that's what I walk around like.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
that all the time.
I have
Sometimes
that
I
all the
catch
time.
myself in a reflection and I'm like, who is this sloped back joke? And it's me. That's me. That's me looking back at me.
I worked at a restaurant once, and I was, taking my mid shift, like between lunch and dinner, relaxing time on the toilet, and the door, like to the thing, had a full length mirror, and I had because I was changing into another shirt, but I didn't put the new shirt on. I was shirtless on the toilet. I'll just say it, and I was just having a good time. Then I did one of these. I was like, oh, it's. Like I saw myself shirtless sitting down from the side, and I was like, "This is a man who will never be loved." Like it was one of the most horrific experiences of my life, and I don't know how anybody. I do. I have it. It's like burned into my brain, and every time I look at Becca, I'm like, "You're disgusting.
Yeah.
How could you?"
How could you? How could you roll up underneath this? Yeah. Yeah.
So funny.
So every once in a while there's a hotel that will have like a mirror like kind of in front of the bathroom, in front of the toilet, and then you're just sitting there and you're like, who is this for? Who is this for, to just like watch myself get teary-eyed and watch myself fold into myself during these like private moments,
Yeah, hotels are so like complex and like engineered, and just the simple things that you can use your phone to open a door, but you're gonna look right into your butthole while you're peeing. Why are we doing that? Can we stop?
You know what I just thought of? Those creeps that put like a camera in the bathroom?
Yeah.
That was the thing on one of the cruise ships recently. They found that there was a camera in the bathroom. Hello, Miso. And I wonder if most of that footage is worthless to them, because it's just guys that look like me and Mike sitting on the cane going, ah! The buffet! The buffet! And then, sorry, I yelled into the mics.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, sorry. Mark will have to work with that. I'm sorry, Mark. You're going to have to figure out how to lower the levels on that. But, like, imagine, you stick this camera into the bathroom, assuming that it's just going to be, like, supermodels staying at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who stays at hotels. It's me. It's Mike. That's who's staying there. Businessmen. Like, it's not...
Businessmen who have to use their per diem, and they do it on whiskey. It's not going to be fun. You think the guys behind the camera, as they're like opening the file, they're like, "Come on, no again."
How come no supermodels are staying at the Spring Hill Inn and Suites off the highway?
It's a Marriott brand, for crying out loud. Thought they were classier.
Yeah, oh man, I got back from being on the road yesterday, and I was just surrounded by everyone with no class, which I bring no class to the table. But then I see other people with no class, and I'm like, well, I'm doing better than that person. You know?
It is always nice to see somebody doing worse than you go, oh, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. I was sitting next to a giant woman. She's like 6'5", white lady with dreadlocks and flannel, and she was hogging. I'm middle seat, and she took the armrest, and I'm like, well, that's kind of mine, but you're enormous, so I guess it's yours. And then I was like, there's still something missing about her ensemble. And then mid-flight, she got up, and she had a friend or somebody 2 rows up, and then she came back with a half-drunken small Mountain Dew. And I'm like, now it's complete. Now the ensemble's complete. What we were missing here was getting up to go, hey, do you still have my Mountain Dew? And then, like, Mountain Dew is the white trash champagne of it's not Miller High Life. That's what classy people drink. You're drinking Mountain Dew, Comfort Plus, Isle, spilling a little on your dirty flannel, dabbing it up with your dreadlock. That is what row in the trailer park were you in? Because I think we were neighbors. All right.
You ever been to a bar where they have you can get Mountain Dew as a mixer?
No.
Because I've never have either. I've been to a place where you can get Gatorade, like Gatorade and vodka, which is like, it's an establishment. Like there's multiples of them, and like that's on the menu. Like rum and Gatorade. It's like who? You know what I need? I need to replenish my electrolytes, and I also want to beat my wife. What do you got? You got something that for me? I got a whiskey Dew.
Is this too much already?
It's fine.
It's too much already. Where's the phone? I had a great weekend, by the way. Bunch of shows. Louisville was awesome. I got to hang out with Al Snow. Oh, Mike went away. Mike's back. There he is.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Do I
you're
sound
still there.
the same?
No.
Always
It's
a problem. Let me.
You're on the other side of the country.
Good point.
The fact that this is even at all doable is insane. Do you have any, like, if this podcast was, I guess podcasts wouldn't be around then, but if this was like, if I was like Fatty Arbuckle and you were Milton Berle, we'd be doing this through carrier pigeon. Yeah. Like, it'd be completely
We're doing this
different.
on the Tonight Show, and we'd feel better about every move we made. Does it sound decent at least?
We'd be, I think it sounds
It's
fine.
fine. Yeah.
You know, as long as people can
Yeah, I
hear
think
you.
so.
I really think after putting in all the effort to build the studio and do all this stuff, I really think less is more.
I agree.
I don't think we should dial anything. We should fix anything. Listen, no.
Yeah.
I just got back yesterday, and I'm one of those people where I need 2 full days of nothing to get back to full speed, and this is my first full day back, and I don't want to do anything. I'm surprised these lights are on. I didn't put on pants. I'm barefooted here, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful.
I don't care.
People can see your feet.
You know what? If this is what you're into, you creeps. There you go. Look at that.
We're about to get a screenshot on a couple of new websites. Type in Zoltan feet and see what
Zoltan's
comes
feet.
up. Yeah.
Is that a 6th toe? What is that? Anyway, yeah, I got to hang out with Al Snow, wrestling legend, in Louisville. We had lunch together with him and his wife. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
They're fans of my comedy, Mike.
That's great. So he just showed up to the show?
Yeah. That's the first time I met them, the first time I was in Louisville at the Comedy Caravan 2 years ago. I'm sitting there for the Late Show, and in come, I'd know Al Snow, and I'm like, I guess that's his wife. And I was like, oh my God. And then they said, I purposely talked about wrestling during my set. I had no wrestling related references or jokes at the time, and I shoehorned in everything I could just so that he knew that I am a wrestling fan. And thankfully, him and his wife waited in the meet and greet merch line, and they were fans of my comedy. And I was like, I'm a fan of you. And me and his wife kept in touch, and then they came out this time, and then they invited me out to lunch, and they brought me a bunch of like signed pictures and a Funko Pop and a couple Job Squad T-shirts.
That's cool.
They were so cool. I got to hear. He told this awesome story about doing a don't say. Like they went to a school to do like say no to drugs speech for the children. And he was never into drugs and alcohol, but like the other guys, like they picked him up in a limo, and this guy Midian and Big Boss Man, they came out of their hotel room and there was a plume of smoke. Like it was just full Cheech and Chong in there. And then the lady from the WWF office that was in charge of managing them for the day of like taking them, you go here and here, she was just like mortified.
Of course.
And then they get in the car, and then Midian reaches into his pocket and pulls out a stack of pills, just a bunch of different pills, and gives half of them to Big Boss Man. He takes the other half, throws them down his throat, and they wash him down with whiskey that's in the limo. Mm-hmm. And this is on the way to the elementary school in the morning to give the speech. And I guess all the drugs kicked in when they got there. And Al Snow gives his speech. He's like, well, I've never really done drugs and alcohol, but don't do it. He gives like the standard do the right thing speech. And then Midian goes up there and he goes, I'm not going to tell you not to do drugs. I just did a bunch in the limo on the way over here. He said that to a bunch of elementary school kids. And the girl from the office, the lady that was sent from the office to make sure this all goes smooth, is just over there like, oh my God. What the hell? Could you imagine if there were cell phone cameras back in 1999, 1998 to like capture this kind of, all these kids posting?
Yeah.
But also, like, they came in a limo. Like, you should have known. Like, you don't send a limo to somebody who's just like, going to a meeting. Limos are for quinceañeras, proms, and people that use drugs and think limos cool. Limos are cool. That's it.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a limo and like look like? Remember when you were a kid, you would look into a limo to see who's in there. You're like, oh, who's in there? Late breaking news. It's a redneck. That's it. It's a hillbilly. or a pimp. I mean, there's literally nobody else takes limo. You're more. Is it a celebrity? Never.
Oh.
It's never been a celebrity once. It's the one limo that goes around the circle to pick them up, drop them off at the premiere. It goes back around, picks another one up. That's it.
The only time I've been in a limo, it was Hera's the Improv at Harvey's in Lake Tahoe. They pick you up in a limo at the airport, and I didn't know this. And so I go down there, and there's a guy with a thing, and he's in a suit. I'm wearing shorts. I'm dressed like a jackass. And I go into this giant limo, and then I'm just sitting back there by myself. I'm not drinking anything. Mm-hmm. I'm by myself. Mm-hmm. And then I get there, and then on the trip back, they take you back in a limo. But this time, I'm in there with a giant Indian family whose dad apparently has a gambling problem and is a high roller at this casino. So it wasn't even a limo then. It was just a shuttle bus to the airport of me. It was just me and then an entire family that knew each other. And then we're all just sitting there at 5 a.m. getting driven back to the airport. It wasn't fun.
No.
There weren't any drinks flowing. It wasn't no laughs were happening.
I've never been in a limo.
Ever?
Ever.
Do you want to be?
Maybe.
It's a big car.
Yeah.
Like
I always envisioned the scene from Home Alone and the giant pizza.
That's it. I mean, you nailed it.
That's what we should do. We should do that. Next time we go to New York, we'll get we'll see what a limo costs. Maybe we won't do it, but if it's somewhere reasonable, we'll get the limo and the cheese pizza, and you can stick your head out the sunroof, and we'll go get over to Willy Wonka's toy store.
The
wherever
Plaza Hotel, they do
going.
a Home Alone package where you can get the suite, the limo with the pizza, Diet Coke, and ice cream delivered to your room. Like there's a whole. I mean, I think it's like $5,000 a night or something like nuts.
Okay.
But if you're rich and you also are a child at heart, I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat. If I had $6,000 to my name, I would do it for $5,000.
I think you do have to steal your dad's credit card to pull this off.
Yeah.
Just like in Home Alone, you gotta go all the way.
I'm 8.
But
why would I have my own credit card?
You would have known that Rob Schneider was going to become that character 30 years later. Just a weaselly little, can I come in and make some, just counting his money. Wenzel, don't count your tips in public. That was his, what was his name?
Cedric.
His name was
Cedric.
Cedric.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cedric.
Cedric, don't count your tips and and that's Rob
Oh,
Schneider now.
how could I forget juicy fruit? Okay.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you're coming along.
Looked really late for me, but
That's
I got
all
it.
right.
You should be in a limo at least once in your life. I saw there was quinceañeras. So I was just in Mexico City. There's quinceañeras apparently all day Saturday or something like that. Because there was just massive limos with regular size rooftop that opens up, but 14, 15-year-olds just hanging out of the top of if there's a bump in the road, someone's getting half their body taken off. Like this was just, there was like, we're going to saw off all these children because they were all up there. It was all dangerous. They were going down the highway with just kids poking their head out. I was like, what are we doing? But,
Mexico's
Mexico City, dude.
Yeah.
Mexico, it's about fun. Those Mexican people have a good time.
Yeah.
Like that's the way they do it.
What was your favorite part
Food.
of your trip?
Oh man, such good food.
Yeah.
And also like doing things that you never would do in another, like at home, was I found like the first day showed up. There was like it's a lot of like street food. I'd never been to Mexico City. I've been to like resorts in Mexico, but Mexico City, just street food everywhere. And a guy was making birria, and he just pulled the meat out of it with his bare hands, chopping it up. Everything's with his bare hands. I won't eat off of a food truck in New York if it's, if they're wearing a hazmat suit. But he just full on like, doing his thing. And I was like, hey, this is what they do here. But it also felt more like this was the norm, right? Like I just wouldn't, I still wouldn't. I passed 14 of them today. I'm not touching that stuff, pardon me.
No.
But yeah, for some reason in Mexico City, I'm drinking weird birria juice off the street. I'm like, hey, give me one of those. He's like pounding it with his elbow. I'm like, this is great. It was fantastic.
That's funny that you won't eat off a truck in New York, but in Mexico City you're just drinking meat juice. Odd meat juice.
We were this like weird this grounds where there was like all these tents and food stalls or whatever. And I was hungry and I don't speak a lick of Spanish. Dos margaritas picante, por favor. That's what I got.
What's picante
spicy.
Small? Spicy. Picante. I should know.
Yeah.
Did you feel okay after everything?
Yeah.
Like eating
Yes.
everything?
I mean, yesterday was a bit touch and go for me. I'm not going to lie. My first day back, there was a couple too many times the bathroom door opened and closed. You know what I mean? But it didn't feel like an emergency, but it definitely was like, yeah, this is probably a bad idea for some of those choices.
Yeah.
And one of those choices was there was like a lineup of all these like different. Okay, not to do another movie reference. I'm sorry, Emma, but you remember in Vegas Vacation when he goes, "Is this the beef?" There was like the blue stuff and the orange stuff. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you want some?" That's in the wrong place. It was just piles of different colored stuff inside of a juice. And I was like, ooh, what's that one? As if he's going to say something in Spanish and I'm going to get it. And I go, what's the green one? He goes, I go, two. No idea what I ordered. And it was delicious, but it could have been, it could have been toddler meat. I have no idea what it was. It was delicious and I ate it and I felt fine. Not here, forget.
Good. I think when you travel, the less questions about it.
Yeah.
When you're in your own country, ask all the questions about what's in this food. How'd you prepare it? Are there seed oils in the oil that you cook the food in? Sure. But when you're traveling, I boiled this soup in my bathtub. Just have it. It's good. I mean, they might have.
Yeah. I've seen so many of those street food in India videos on Instagram. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but...
That one where the guy's cutting the meat with his toenail?
Oh my God, that one was crazy.
Did you see that?
I've seen some of it. I've not seen the toenail one. I'm going to puke if you say it again, but...
I said it already. I mean, it's exactly what you think. And guess what? Not the best toenail. This is... he didn't just get back from the day at the spa. All right, this is...
I think he'd been sharpening it.
Yes, this is a Lloyd Christmas pre-Beauty Day toenail that he's just cutting raw lamb or beef.
Yeah, it's weird because it's so gross, but I can't stop watching those videos.
And you send them to me, and I get so mad. I get so mad, and I go, please stop. And then you're like, but here's one more.
For the guy
Watch where he pulls the garnish out of.
pull stuff out of the deep fryer with his bare hands and then like spraying it over his arm for no reason. It's like, can we not do that? But that might be my limit, though. I don't think I could do that type of food. You know, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have ordered
I
from the
couldn't
guy
either.
using his hands had I known he was going to use his hands. But then I was like, now I'm going to be disrespectful.
Right.
I'll just eat it, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
I went back and I got a
Yeah,
second.
I mean, as long as they're not handling cash and cooking. Was he
No,
doing
there
that?
was somebody there helping and translating for the first guy. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Remember the juice guy in New York? He was handling cash, and
Oh, my
he was
gosh.
peeling the fruits, putting them in the juicer, and he had the dirtiest nails you've ever seen.
Nails. His whole hand was black.
Yeah, his whole hand was black. I think this fruit was like rolled down the street. Like the delivery driver's like, here's another melon, and then the guy's on the other end just like picking it up, and his hands were like black handling cash. The juice was amazing.
I couldn't drink
It was amazing. Remember that real hoity-toity girl that came in, and she's like, give me the usual.
Yeah.
And so she goes there all the time.
How did
but
it
filthy
taste,
hands.
Rich?
It was a lot of minerals.
Yeah, you're definitely building your microbiome.
Yeah.
Mark.
What's the coconut goop you've been feeding me? And I've been
yeah.
turning like a goose.
It's called Coconut Cult. And
Coconut Cult at Trader Joe's.
It's, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, sorry.
But it's really good.
It tastes like cake frosting, and you take one scoop of it in the morning on an empty stomach, and then you just do that every day, and you never have a problem. It's kind of like I don't know if you saw there was like an airplane issue in Atlanta, and then so everyone had to take the emergency slide to get off.
That was
the
just
plane.
recently, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
There was some issue, and then all these people in the cold had to do the emergency and go down the slide. That's how it shoots out of you. It's like 150 souls have 2 minutes to get out of you, and they're like bam, 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 and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm not reading, because that's where I do my reading. And I'm like, I used to be able to get through a chapter. Now I'm like a sentence in, and I'm like, oh, we're already to phase two.
You're reading
I
the
guess we're done
package.
here.
It goes, "Are you willing and able to assist?" What the hell am I reading? Pull the handle. What?
I get out of the bathroom. There's a guy with the cones going, "You're done now. Go over to your gate." But yeah, we're all about healthy digestive tracts here. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy to be home because I had it was a fun weekend. But every hotel I stayed in, not the first one in Louisville, but Evansville and St. Louis, filthy. Everyone's going bald on not their head, and every piece of body hair from neck down was just everywhere in both hotel rooms.
That's
Like they still had the first one still had the bar of soap in the tray.
Oh my god.
Like whoever used the bar of soap from the before, it was still in the tray, and I was like, and I don't know if you're like me, Mike, but I get all my hotels off the Marriott Bonvoy app, and I love it when I don't see many reviews because that means it's a new building. So that means not that many people have stayed here. So this one, it was 5 stars. It only had 50 reviews. Most of them are in the hundreds. And I'm like, oh, that's a brand new hotel. And it was. Everything was brand new. But I guess they don't have employees in Evansville. And so the maids are slacking big time. Hairs on everything.
No, I'm good. Did you call?
No,
See, that's
I just
He just
avoided.
complained about it to me over FaceTime.
I just send her photos. She's my Yelp. I send her photos and I go, look at this 1-star establishment. And then I go downstairs and I'm like, you run a lovely hotel.
Did you leave a review?
No, I don't leave her. It's like the coffee shop yesterday. Do you want to tell him?
No.
Oh, you
out of
don't?
here.
All right.
You can tell it. I'm not telling it.
People gave us sass at the old coffee shop yesterday. And
Go into a coffee shop and there's just 2 sassy broads in there.
2 sassy broads.
And
I'm
if
glad
you-
you said it and I didn't.
You can say broads, right?
I don't
You-
think
you
so.
can say
I
broads.
mean, you
I can say
can.
it.
Yeah,
there
I
we
think
go.
I think Bill Burr and you can say it.
Yeah, Yeah, they were just giving attitude for no apparent reason, and I just didn't appreciate it. And I left a bad review. I don't do it usually, but they really got to me.
You gave it to them.
Yeah.
And then you ended it with a coffee pun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They need to wake up and smell the cold brew that their customer service is lacking.
I'm rare to leave a review, but like especially food, like a bad review, because it's like unless it's like a chain and there's no like real people, if it shuts down, it's like you know. But a mom and pop, I can't. Coffee shop in my neighborhood, Greek coffee shop. I left them a 5-star review. It was one of the worst experiences in my life, but I just made it. I had to leave it. I couldn't leave one because I was like, I'm killing a neighborhood establishment, but. So I put 5 stars.
Right.
Like if you like being disrespected, if you like old Greek women yelling at you, if you want to feel like the biggest piece of work in the world and feel like an absolute loser, and this is the place for you. If you have a fetish for being beat up by old Greek ladies, this is it.
That's actually genius. Like, leave a 5-star review, but
Hey, this is
say
what
it
the
like
one.
that.
This is what the 5-star review should have read. 5 stars. What was the name of the place? Moesh.
Don't say it.
Whatever. Do you like brand new coffee shops on the first floor of a brand new condo building? You know the ones, pink plastic chairs, way too bright, everything's white, and then 2 employees that know they're too good to be baristas? Well, do I have a place for you? The cappuccino's delicious, the attitude is through the roof. You better leave a tip because the sass is all the same no matter what you leave. Go to so-and-so's.
oh, where were you yesterday on that? When
I
was
had just
asking you
gotten
for
off
help?
a flight next to Mountain Dew dreadlocks. I was not in the place of mind. I came up with the pun. Actually, AI came up with the pun, and then and then I spiced it up by saying change to cold brew.
Yeah.
She uses AI all the time.
Five
AI.
stars for the number of stars I counted spinning around my head when I smashed my head in the door on the way out in anger. Wait, you use AI?
That's great.
I love AI. I'm not supposed to, but I love it.
See? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one.
You're
that
the
does
only one that doesn't use it.
it.
I use it as research, as a research tool. I don't let it write anything for me, but I'll let it research.
Yeah.
Emma's really good at technology in general. So she's great at brainstorming, and just anything you do, you're like, well, I need to brainstorm. Boom, 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 boom. And then and then you do it. I used to be your AI. We used to go sit at a park, and you're like, give me 100 company names, and then I'm like, what? And then you're like, that's horrible. Next, and I'm like, what is this?
You're giving yourself a lot of credit.
I didn't say I was good at it. I was just saying I used to do it. And then now AI sleeps. Are you going to use the new Chinese AI, the DeepSeek? Do you know about this?
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, I've been like inundating myself with a lot of the goings on of the NVIDIAs and AI and the investment that they're putting into it, and watching $500 billion they were going to give to improve American AI companies. And then the Chinese said, well, we have 17 cents in our pockets. We'll make it better. And they did. And then all these like massive wealthy billionaires and billionaire hedge funds throwing all this money into all these big companies. And then it just tanks. And like, I don't want the stock market to go down, but when it does, I like to see that it's not like, you know, your everyday investor, like the trash man and the mailman aren't getting, it's when these huge, like, I know better than you people come in, they just get cut out. I don't want China to win. You know, I live in America. I want America to succeed. But man, what a time to watch people just completely lose their mind. And then watch Nancy Pelosi 4 days ago buy puts on NVIDIA and like, oh, we're supposed to just let senators and people in Congress put money into stocks. Anyway, I've gone too far. The point is, yes, I've heard of it.
Very true,
I haven't used it yet because I don't know if I want to, but I love the idea of it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to either.
I love the idea of rich people losing their money.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of that. Like big fan. Man, my shoulder hurts. Just doing that hurts. I think it's finally done.
I don't want to see rich
I
people that
finally
like
cooked it.
self-made rich people necessarily, unless you've stepped on people's necks to get there. But like if you inherited wealth,
Oh, they did.
if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or any one of those higher up people that have done nothing other than just like destroy other people, or like, I don't know, commit genocide in a third world economy to then become a billionaire. Like, I don't really care what happens to you. I don't care. like jump in front of a train, get pushed in front of a train, you're going free. Like I don't care. I have no empathy for people of that amount of wealth.
Cheers to that.
The more you know, or the more you feel. I'm all in. We're all in.
All that being said, I'd love to have
I just
$1 billion. Like, God, I would love to. Because I don't think I'd be, I think that I would, you'd look back at this tape and be like, oh, I thought he sounded like he'd be a different billionaire. Absolutely not. No shot.
Yeah, money changes.
I'll go to homeless people and burn a stack of fat hundreds in their face. Be like, you can't do this. I'd hope to think I wouldn't, but I have to face reality. Because what good is money if you can't use it to make people without it feel bad? That's what I say.
That's the whole
I have
point.
that tattooed all the way down my arm.
Not just you. That's yeah.
Man.
That is who we would all become. I don't even have money yet, and I'm already insufferable.
I'd like to think that's not true, though.
I'm pretty insufferable.
Because there has to be rich people that do good with their money. Like, not every rich person.
Warren Buffett's giving away all of his
That's
money.
true.
That's his like goal. Like
Yeah.
that's cool. But like,
Or
how'd you get it?
like the founder of Patagonia, like he donates all the profits from his company.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about that, but if that's that's better than not doing that, right? But I just don't feel. Even the Warren Buffett and this guy Patagonia, I feel like there's like a reason, Like I still can't believe that you're just a good person, I just don't. I don't think people have it in them to be that rich and also that selfless. There's got to be something like. There's somebody high up going, hey, you better give it away or I'm going to tell people about this. Like, okay, take, Like, although Warren Buffett's probably the only one I think that's legitimate, just from instinct and gut, for no research whatsoever. He just feels like the kind of guy that doesn't care about money. Like, doesn't care about spending it and having it. He just likes the game. He likes finding ways to make it, and then he's just like, I don't care what's in there. Which is a very rich person thing to say and do, but that being said, if you guys want to check out my Instagram, I have a rich man soup recipe that we can all eat them. What about hot sauce?
Hot to trot. I was sad to see Zuckerberg and all the, not just him, but all the CEOs that were very anti-Trump are now very pro-Trump. And the reason that makes me sad is because that lets me know that it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're always still going to have to, like, bow down to somebody. Like, I thought the whole point of making money is not having to answer to anybody. Mm-hmm. Like, that's, like, growing up, I was like, man, I can't wait to have some money. If I ever have any money, I won't have to listen to anybody. Like, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
To, like, just sleep all the time and not do anything. And then you watch people that have all the money in the world and they're over there kissing the ring going, oh, and it's like, oh my God, like it's not enough. Yeah. Whatever you have is not enough. You still want everything more and then some. And it's just, that's so demoralizing. You're like, how much money do I have to make to where I can give everyone the finger and leave? Mm-hmm. Like, what's that?
I think it's whatever number you want it to be,
Yeah, I guess you could do that with I've seen homeless people do that.
Yeah.
They give everyone the finger, and you see the crack of their ass when they leave. Yeah. And they just told you what they thought.
It's that F you money principle. True. Like, at what point do I not want to listen to my boss? Like, oh, I've saved enough, and all the little money I made, I invested. Now I don't care. I'm out of here. Like that move. I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that with society.
That'd be nice.
God,
I'd be into that. I wrote down notes.
Let's hear them.
Do you want to hear my notes? This is a banner episode. Podcast notes. Oh, I just wrote down all the times Emma laughed at me over the last 2 weeks. I went to boxing and I showed her my sparring videos of me sparring other people at boxing, and she laughed so hard at me after I thought I looked so cool. And I shared them on Instagram. Like, the other guy took the video and I shared it. And I was like, check that out. And she almost choked on her own spit laughing. at like my coolest moment of blocking a punch.
It's so hard though, because you're wearing a mouth guard and your face is like this, and then you have this big dumb headgear.
And my head's already big, but now it's like bigger.
Where'd you share it? I don't
It's
see
cool.
it.
I mean, this was like 2 weeks ago. I wrote this a while ago. And then what else? Oh, I put Rugrats on Netflix, or you did. Mm-hmm. And then we were watching Rugrats, and I said, "Hey, do you know these were made by Hungarians?"
Oh yeah.
And then you wrote, and then you said, "Is that why all their foreheads are so big?" And I was like, "What the hell is that?" Why are you and we're just eating like breakfast, and we're in bed watching the Rugrats, and then I was just like, "Oh, you know, the show's made by Hungarians." I'm like, "Oh, is that why they?" And she wasn't like trying to dig me. It was a genuine question, and she's like, "Oh, is that why all their foreheads are huge?" And I'm like, "I didn't care for that."
All right. I think these are things that only you think are funny.
No, we all laughed at that one. I love this one. You were eating a cup of noodle soup, and then later came into the bathroom and started rinsing. She started rinsing her face, and then you came out and you're like, "I think I got powder in my eye," and I was like, "Oh, like makeup?" And you're like, "No, from the soup."
Little MSG burning
So
your
dumb.
face.
Yeah, just MSG, because it was like you ate the soup and then time passed. And then you went in the bathroom, and I thought you were putting makeup on or something. And you came out, you're like, it's in my eye. And I'm like, what, like foundation or something? Like, no, soup powder.
Again, I think these are all things you find funny.
Oh, remember when we went to the breakfast burrito place in
No.
Ocean Beach?
Uh-huh.
And then it was that outdoor breakfast burrito place, and with the loud owner, he just came in, hey, hey, hey. He's a big character. And then we got the breakfast burritos, and it was really good. They were tasty breakfast burritos, but Emma was like, I thought it was good, but because, but with every bite, I remembered how cocky the owner was, and I couldn't enjoy it.
I forgot I said all this.
I would have too, and this is why I started writing them down. Those were 4 banger things that you did. I think laughing at my sparring videos, I think everyone would have laughed at them. It's just, you know those moments where you feel like you did something cool, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then you show it to the people that matter to you, and then they just like need a minute to like catch their breath from laughing so hard.
Or they do this face. They go. That was it. Oh, okay. No, it was good. It was good. It was good. Oh, this is brutal.
And I thought I was doing so well.
You were doing well.
Yeah, but you were
just look
laughing.
funny doing it.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what everyone that does any type of sport or athletic thing wants. It's like, I want to do it well, but I also want to look ridiculously unathletic while doing it.
I didn't say
I have to
that.
hide in like the corner.
That was my.
I have to hide in the corner of my gym to do yoga because I'm not yoga. I'm doing it for me, not for anybody else. And it's a lot of, okay, now turn to your side. And I'm like, give me a second, YouTube. Like, I have this real bad, like, it's a lot of like me laying like this and like, all right, turn over. And I'm like, come on. And I don't want anyone around me for that. So I have to like, that's why I don't want to, because it makes me not want to do it because I don't look good doing yoga. And now I hide. Otherwise, I'd be the same thing. People be laughing at me, and I don't want to do it. What did you do? Just
Now I want to see you do yoga.
It's a lot. It's real bad. I watched
that's
this
not
YouTube video because I have really bad lower back pain, and I'm like, yoga for lower back pain, and they're like, this is what it's made for, lower back pain, and they're like, now do this. I'm like, did you not read your own description? They want you they're like rock back and forth from your shoulders to your butt. I'm like, I can't move. Why do you think this is what I want? I specifically said my back hurts. They're like, cool. Twist 360 from the top to the bottom. Just make your front go to the back and your back go to the front. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks. Oh, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. This is yoga to get lower back pain. Our bad. Let's try to change that up.
I got that one wrong.
Yeah.
But I got a kettlebell for the home gym and in the garage, And all the YouTube videos that I do that are for kettlebell workouts, they're so dangerous, like the movement that they make us do, that I'm like, oh, you do this on video because if you had a gym, this would be a lawsuit. Like if you did this at an establishment and people paid you money directly, people would be bashing these things into their face, and it would be a giant lawsuit.
I'm always surprised to see the number
like
of number of kettlebells and mirrors in the same room. I'm like, at some point, this is going to go bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say they should put a disclaimer that they're not responsible for your TV.
They're not responsible for your TV, the mirror, because it doesn't, like the kettlebell swings. It's a hard workout. It's very taxing, but your hands get sweaty, and it's a metal, thick-handled, slippery, and you're supposed to switch hands, and you're like, there's going to be a time where I let that thing go, and it's going to go through the wall and hit the UPS driver dropping off a package, and we're going to get sued.
I can see that happening.
I can see that going down.
I joined a new gym, an Equinox. I'll just say it.
Whoa!
Oh my!
I got a deal.
Big money, Mike.
Whoa!
I pay almost as much, just about as much as I was paying at my terrible gym, because they were doing like a New Year special, and I talked the guy in to give me a better price. Now, that being said, I think I'm only going for this steam room. Like I'll go work out. I'll be like, go do half a mile in the gym, a couple of these, and I'll go do my yoga for 10 minutes, and then I'm like, that's like 30 minutes, and then I'm like, it's time for the steam. Full 30 minutes in the steam room because I got to get my hour, otherwise I didn't work out. And then was in the steam room, 3 towels covered in lotion, just like, no, I got a good pump in today. Just got to wash the stresses of my workout away. It's gross. I think I just go just so I can go into an Equinox.
I mean, I've never been into one, but I've heard the fables of the Equinox. It's a very highly apparently like Brad Pitt's in there doing lunges. It's like everyone goes there.
I went for a year for free because I was dating the general manager of the one on the Upper East Side, and that relationship was about a 3-month relationship stretched into about 14 months, and that's because I was like, I don't want to give up this membership. I will just ride this until it's unrideable anymore. And I gotta.
What a perfect turn of phrase for what was going on.
Yeah. That horse was turned into glue, and I was still smacking it to try to get it to go. The text conversation for the breakup was as simple as, "Hey, so this clearly has run its course, right?" I didn't know what else to say. I was like, do we have to talk about this? Because you're clearly out. I'm clearly out.
Wait, you broke up with her over a text?
Yeah, after not being responded to for a long time. And I was going to try to take the grown-up way of not just letting it rot like I normally would.
Right.
But it was very simply like, hey, am I crazy or this is run its course? And she was like,
by the way,
it certainly has, by the way,
same
was the response. I was like,
it certainly has. I was gonna say that's the same verbiage you would use to actually end your gym membership. Hey, it feels like this. It feels like this has run its course, and then they respond, "It certainly has."
Just look at your check-ins for the last 16 months and 0. So, thank you for the free money.
Was there any part of the end of the text chain of the breaking up where you're like, "Can I still go to Equinox?"
She had to. Up here, yes. Like I'm sure I tried to go. How we looking on that membership? But it, I had too much pride inside.
Yeah.
How much are those memberships?
Yeah, how much are they?
Here,
I think I'm paying like $180 because I only do the one gym.
Oh, okay. So they have tiers, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like $500 if you
this
want to go to like all the
AI.
gyms.
How much are Equinox memberships? Equinox, whatever. Whoa. They offer 3 main tiers, $260 per month for just access to your home gym. What?
Whoa.
Oh, like whatever one's local to you. $270 per month for access to any gym in Southern California, except for 2 of them. Whichever 2 those are. $330 a month for access to all their gyms worldwide.
Well, that's not what I'm
So
paying.
it's either $260, $270, $330.
I'm paying $185. Plus, I talked them into giving me a free overnight locker. And, wait,
He's so proud.
ready for this? Free laundry.
Free
It's
laundry.
like a bag.
What?
It's like a prison bag. It's like a mesh. You put all your laundry and you throw it in, and you zip it up and you throw it in the towel bin. And then within that day, they'll be washed, folded, and put back in your locker.
Whoa.
So I never have to bring a
That's
gym bag. I leave my shoes there. It's fantastic.
Wow.
That's
Now, that
great.
being said, I've
That
gained
makes
For
it
weight,
one.
worth it.
but that's not the point. The point is that I look cool.
Do you bring your stuff from home?
No, I bought like 2 sets of clothes and I leave it in there, and they're just there permanently now.
Oh,
So I don't have to carry.
That's actually worth $180.
yeah.
The
If,
laundry?
if we had it while we were in New York, I'd bring our bed
Hilarious.
Oh yeah, stuff our sheets in there. The cat's yacked on this one.
That would be good.
By the way, the last episode, Miso threw up on this rug. How many days did it take till we actually picked it up?
sheets. So embarrassing.
I think we picked it up the day that our cleaner was coming because we were embarrassed she
We
was
were
going to see it.
pre-cleaning.
Yeah, we were
her.
pre-cleaning before the lady came because we didn't want her to judge us, Susanna. And yeah, we're messy
I don't know
people.
why you have to tell everyone that.
I just want people to know.
Why?
Because I think sometimes people see and they're like, oh, they must be so pristine.
I don't think anyone thinks that.
Wow, we just found out Zoltan
just wanna
thinks
make
real
sure.
highly of himself.
Yeah.
People look at my bare feet on the internet and they're like, "This guy's got it together.
Yeah. I'm proud of my feet.
This guy's really got
Stick
his
'em up
life
there.
in order. He's half dressed and he's showing us his corns. This guy must be clean."
I have started getting corns. Yeah.
What are corns?
I think it's a growth on your pinky on the side of the toe.
Oh.
And I think because it's rubbing right there and it's getting little, and then,
I mean, I think it's a lot more than just your pinky.
I mean, all of it's a mess.
Yeah.
All of it's a mess.
I got a little guy growing right here
And you
on
know
my
it's-
eye. It's killing me. I'm going to see something on Friday. I got a little get off my face. Anything right here?
Get it
See
in
this?
there.
Right there?
Oh, that little, what is
I don't
that?
know. It's like
It's a red
it's like
dot.
no, it's white. It's like a skin tag, but it's all
Oh.
like spiky.
Oh.
Have you tried just yanking
That's
it
why I
off?
think it grew back spiky.
Oh.
Have you WebMD'd it?
No, I've learned a long time ago. After years of thinking I was having a heart attack, sitting in the waiting room of the ER, just anticipating a heart attack for nights on end, I stopped using that WebMD a long time ago.
Oh,
That's
good job.
Yeah, I had a skin tag on my neck for years, and then one time I went to the barber shop here in San Diego, and the owner there is he's a little fidgety, and he cut my skin tag off with the clippers.
Oh.
There's just blood everywhere. And he'd never talked about it. I didn't bring it up. I think other people saw that were walking by. There's just knife wound in my neck. And but I got rid of my skin tag, so I tipped him. You know, I was like, "Thank you for that." You know, thank you for the help.
Wait, did he
And-
were you bleeding on the way out, or did he stop the bleeding?
Yeah. I mean, he it's kind of like when you bleed at a barbershop, they dab that alcohol on it. So that stung, you know, because he cleaned up my neckline with a straight razor. And, yeah. But it was weird how he just didn't bring it up. He also cut me all over the place because I have very sensitive skin. So when when they do the lining under here, it just looks like Dr. Edward Scissorhands had at me. It's just clawed up, and then I'm bleeding out of this side. And so I'm sure it would be funny if I was walking out and someone was walking in, and then they saw me, and they're like, "Yeah, maybe I'll go somewhere else." This dude looked like he just got mugged in there.
Man, if that was me, I would have caused the biggest scene.
I'm sure. Emma is what customer service rep refer to as a problem. We have a problem.
I can't help it.
No, you're good
I'm
because
extra.
every relationship needs one or the other.
Right.
I'm the person that doesn't say anything. You're the person that gets the job done right because you'll complain. if I was like you, if we were both the same in either direction, it would be a nightmare. Either we would be too aggressive together, or neither of us would say anything, and then nothing ever got done.
It's true.
So it's yin and yang. Marriage. We've been practicing that.
Mike's cringing over there.
I'm heading for it, so I'm excited. I feel good.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Good. Well, you're getting ready to get hitched later this year.
Yeah, in May. Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
I mean, what's ready? Like, what is ready?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
like
don't know.
emotionally.
Like for the
Sure.
wedding?
Do we have a
No.
photographer booked?
Yeah.
I don't know. So like, no,
I
we
see.
do. Well, I'm up here. I've been ready. I'm actually. I was shocked on this trip. I was like, I don't know how it's supposed to feel. I guess when I almost got married before, like I really hated it because we just weren't a good match. So I just assumed that that's what marriage was just like, well, you just gotta find someone to deal with. Ball and chain.
Oh no.
Oh, do I relate?
That's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was supposed to be, and it's like I know this is. I mean, look, I trust me when I know what I'm about to say. Like if I heard someone say this on a podcast, I'd be like, ugh. But it's awesome. She's great. We get along really well.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like it just feels like she's an extension of me and vice versa. Just like I don't know. There's no amount of like, oh God, I'm tied down for it. Like I just don't feel that anymore. And that's how I felt before. So
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I got that one out of the way. I hope she's well. That person, but who knows? You know.
Same. Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
That was really beautiful.
I love
That was
that.
like a nice, heartwarming moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've brought this up on the podcast before, but do you and your special
Her
lady
name's
friend,
Becca. We can call. You can
fiancé-
use her name.
Yeah. I didn't know if we wanted to out her.
I'm
'cause I know
trying to
she's
plug
a,
her podcast.
you know-
What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. I was like, I wonder if she's like, hey, don't mention my podcast on that horrible shit.
She hates it. She's so scared of my comedy, like influencing what people think about her. They're like, don't do the
Oh.
one joke around me because I don't want people to think that's my opinion. I was like, you don't get the joke. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was gonna ask you if you guys, Emma and I do a thing where we sing it's like very passive aggressive. We sing our complaints to each other. So I'll just be like, I'll be doing the dishes and I'll be like, I guess we stopped putting things in the dishwasher, and then we'll do that, you know. And she'll be like, Emma will be like, I guess we just throw our clothes everywhere when we come home. And then she'll do a whole song and dance. Throw our clothes. We take off our underwear and just throw it in the air with the end of a toe.
Yeah,
There's
sure,
more,
sure.
but you know.
I don't know if we sing.
Cringing.
Are you cringing? Are you sweating right now?
No, I'm not, but I'm cringing.
Well,
You told me not to say that on the podcast, and I'm like, I think it's funny.
It's very cringy.
I mean, it's cringy, but it's, I think, humorous.
Okay.
All
I
right. Do you
love-
guys
no,
do that?
I mean, I'll sing sometimes like to myself because to me that's just me being like the same thing. I'm like, oh, I guess we're not really gonna turn the dishwasher on, even though that's the only job you had tonight. Like, I'll sing it to myself.
See?
But we have a thing where like you'll just hear from the other room, well.
That's my line.
I guess. Oh, it looks like Becca's been in here. Not all the cabinet doors are wide open. So it's like a fun way to complain at each other without being like angry, but it also takes the anger out of it for you because I do want to take one of those doors off and then smack her in the head with it just to like knock some sense into her. But you know she's been in a room when every door is wide open. It looks like we got robbed. But they left everything. Like the robber was looking for something and they just couldn't find it and they had to get out. Or, well, somebody used all the toilet paper, didn't replace the tube. I'll hear that from the bathroom.
Relate hard.
Yeah,
But it's
Emma's
never
a
serious
wonderful
stuff.
cook.
It's always for shit like they're
No,
like,
yeah.
well, somebody left their dating app open on their phone. It's not like you didn't find me cheating. It's just, like a little pee-pee on the toilet seat.
Oh, just enough. Just a dab will do you. But yeah, like Emma's a great cook, but I think sometimes you cook like someone's holding a gun. Like, hurry up, and it's just everywhere. Like there's, so I show up after the fact to clean up, and
it's a war zone.
It's a war. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like if like cops came in, if like someone reported us missing, and they came in, they would have been like, oh my God, they were cooking.
Yeah.
And they were kidnapped while they were cooking, and it's like, no, that was from. We were just outside. Mm-hmm. That's just from 2 days ago. We've still yet to tidy up. Very messy.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. Sometimes I clean as I go when I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I'm really hungry, and it's, yeah. Like Zoltan will clean this up. And you do.
Even though I'm in St. Louis, but like, I'll get it when he's in tomorrow. And that's when I sing, I guess we know you want to leave the yogurt out so it dries on the bowl.
You were only cutting an apple and some peanut butter. Why are there 53 utensils being used? Oh, there's 3 plates covered in peanut butter for one person. Somebody explain that to me.
It's because you don't want to double dip in the peanut butter.
Oh, yeah, that's big for her. She's like, don't double dip in the jam or the peanut butter because then that's going to create something? Mold?
Just bacteria.
Bacteria.
Wait. Back it up. What's the double dip? Like if you're taking a spoon of peanut butter and then putting it on your plate, you then get rid of that spoon and get another spoon?
No, that's fine. But if you decide to taste the peanut butter first and then you go back in with the spoon, that's a big no-no. You can't do that.
I'm doing that.
Let me ask you this.
Especially if it's like things with like probiotics in it, that's a definite no-no.
I don't know what probiotics are, so I keep making the mistake.
You're an amateur biotic.
This is like your therapy.
This is my therapy. I have not learned what probiotics are, so I'm like, no, this is the jam my mom got me for my birthday. So then I'll like double dip it. She's like, oh, you double dip in the jam? And
yeah,
I'm
but
like,
not even just for the bacteria. It's gross for everybody else that wants to have this. It's double dip.
Everybody else.
Who's coming?
I don't know. What if we have someone come over for breakfast
and they want jam?
Yeah.
But the only person that knows is you. What are you going to tell people? Hey, stay out of the container section, covered in Zoltan spit. Like, why would you tell anybody
that? That's disgusting, Mike.
No, I'm saying, like, first of all,
because this is what my favorite thing is.
I'm trying to. What the
yeah,
hell's
but
going
then
on?
I'll know.
Okay.
And
I love getting a spoon and getting half a spoon of jam, and then getting in there, getting a half a spoon of peanut butter. And then low carbs, right? We're not using bread. I'm not using the toaster. We're not crusting up the kitchen. Just a quick little
mouth sandwich.
And then, and then we get like, would you call it a mouth sandwich? That's exactly what it is. That's going to be the name of the episode, mouth sandwich. But yeah, that's what I love to do. And I get like 5 of those, and then I go to bed, kind of high on the sugar from the jam, but weighed down from the weightiness of the peanut butter. And then, watch tsunami videos or whatever we watch. Don't foot fight me.
Speaking of watching tsunami videos, let me ask you this. I don't want to start out a whole new topic this late in the game. Are you guys into Squid Games at all?
We haven't watched the second season. We watched the first season.
Far into the second season. People weren't giving it the credit that it deserves. It's very, very fun, though. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic this season.
I like what you bring to the table because you keep defending things that people have unanimously shit on. Joker Part 2 and now Squid Game. Both we have not seen. And I love that you're like, hey, these people worked on it and they're taking an interesting angle to this popular thing.
What do you want it to be? Like, do you want it to be, like, do you want Squid Games 2 to be just like, now more squiddier? Like, you want it to be explosions? Like, what do you want it to be? It's like the whole thing is like a psychological thriller mixed with gore. Like, that's what you're going to get, but like there's a storyline and a very interesting like how things and why things are happening. And I'm sorry that it's not fantastically new to you, but it's a sequel. Grow up a little bit, pal. It's very fun to watch. I'm enjoying the living daylights out of it. Except for now, Becca, I'm watching it obviously dubbed in English, and she's like, "Why don't you just read it?" The English dubbings, they sound stupid. I go, "You think I want to read Squid Games? Like I live want to read instructions of my medicine. Like I'm not reading a Korean. Like this is crazy." Well, I think it'd be much better. Okay. Anyway,
I'm like Becca on that one.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah. I love to read.
She loves. We have subtitles on everything. Every comedy we watch is ruined. All the punchlines come in a millisecond, like 10 seconds too soon. It's
some of the best lines in movies are it's timing. But when it's just on the screen for you to figure out, and you're like, okay, I'm like, you didn't hear it right.
They got to present subtitles the way they do lyrics at karaoke, where it's but it doesn't bounce in. They pop up. Kind of like the way they do captions on stand-up videos when you watch them on your Instagram or whatever. They need to come up as it's being said and not like...
That's true. That would be better.
Yeah, because then every punchline is just completely ruined.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
But some of the movies are bad. Like, we just rewatched This Is 40, the Judd Apatow movie. I think it was meant to be a sequel to Knocked Up.
Oh, yeah.
And arguably one of the worst movies ever made. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I think that might have been Judd Apatow's last movie, where they're like, "Oh yeah, you're just doing this is that thing you do."
Oh, I just realized
where all the characters just stand.
41 now. I remember when that movie came out, I was like, gross. But now I'm older than that. Ugh.
And guess what? You're gonna watch it, and you're like, "I'm neither of these characters."
Oh, is this what it likes to be a rich 40-year-old who's got endless money and a pool in her backyard? So. I love Funny People though.
My skin's.
I never seen
Funny People.
Never seen this one though. Or I saw it, didn't like it, don't remember that I saw it. That's what happens to me a lot. Is if I don't like something, I forget that I even saw it.
That's how we ended up rewatching.
Oh, funny.
It's like, oh yeah, we never watched this, and then we got into it like, oh, we've seen this. This is crap. And then we watched it. We watched it all the way through.
I tried to watch on my flight home the other day. I tried to watch the Many Saints of Newark, that like prequel to The Sopranos. Where Gandolfini's son in real life plays him as a young man. And I couldn't even get to the part where he was old enough for him to be in it. Like, it was really awful. Like, and I love that storyline, shot beautifully, but the dialogue and like, because the characters were younger, so they're like Big Pussy and like all these and were in the as young men, but the actors were just like, just be a little too trying to be the character. Like they were trying to impersonate, and it was like, all right, we got it. Like, oh, he's got the wings. We get it. Sorry, I'm shaking here. Anyway.
That's how I feel about comedy movies now. Like, new comedy movies are like, we're being funny. Yeah. And you're like, no, dude, just be, the scene should be funny. Your two characters interacting within this world should be entertaining. You don't have to, like, come in and be like, oh, I said something, now it's awkward, I guess I'll back out like a robot. And you're like, no one's asking you to do
from
that.
Us. Two comedians who have never made a movie. Know nothing about it.
So true. Yeah, if we made a movie, I'm sure it would be the biggest steaming turd on the planet.
It'll be good.
But
I think it would be great.
I think it would be. Well, I was just trying to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. I think I used that term backwards.
I think you did.
Anyway, I think we were seeing the hour mark there. I can't read it. It's too far away. I think that's
hour
our show for this.
three.
Yeah. Hour and 3 minutes. Look at us, marathoners. I think this should be a thing we do a lot. We're high-fiving everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Go follow Mike, Big Man Mike, on all the socials. He's doing stuff. Doing things, saying stuff. I think that's what my buddy Bob Hansen says. And then we'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers.
Trekking heavy or traveling light, there's one thing that's right wherever I